In this video, we're going to spend some time talking about differentiation within Microsoft Teams and what features of this learning management system are available so you can differentiate with your students. In the previous discussion post, we looked at differentiating, thinking it through the lens of content, process, and product. So thinking about those three things, how could we differentiate based on content? Well, the easiest method would be if we went into assignments. So if I click the assignments tab and I want to create a new assignment for my students, I could differentiate by giving different assignment choices to different students based on their need, which means that I could change the content. So I could give one math lesson to students that need it, and I can give a different math lesson to other students. I can differentiate their content. Now, how do I do that within Teams? Well, it's actually quite simple. So I just created a new assignment. I could enter all my information. I could enter the instructions. But right here where it says all students, if I click this, I could hand pick which students get this assignment, and then create another assignment and hand pick which students get that assignment. This also works if you have created previous assignments. So if I go back, I push create again, and I see from existing, I could have these assignments created maybe from last year or other, and then pick who gets which assignment based on their need. So that's differentiating by content. So now what about process? So differentiating by process really is the idea of how they are receiving the information and how they're getting access to it. So if I was to add things for my students, so I could add things from, let's say, OneNote, their planner, etc. I could use some of these features. I could also go and add files and give select students access to certain files or resources, okay? Or in Class Notebook, which is the area I personally would use, and you may not have Class Notebook turned on, so that's up to you. Class Notebook allows me to access individual student notebooks. If I had students in this class, you could see that they had notebooks here, and I could provide them resources, information, and processes for them to receive that information through Notebook. Let's say they needed a different news article. I could give a select student a news article that is read to them, another student a news article that's a video, another student a news article that's text. So the process of what they get into information and they do the assignment, they could receive differently. The third way is product. Now, how could you do different products within Microsoft Teams? Well, a product is what they could turn in. So if I was to go back to my assignment and I was to create this, we could have students turn in their assignment in any method possible. You'll remember that in Microsoft Teams, they could turn an assignment from Word. They could turn an assignment from a PowerPoint. They could turn in a sheet. And in each of those, let's say they chose PowerPoint, they could technically create a video and upload that video into their PowerPoint for you to view them versus text. So the product changes based on student need. So those are just a couple small, easy examples of ways you could differentiate using Microsoft Teams. Now, in this discussion post, what we're hoping is that you could share some ways that you've differentiated and how Microsoft Teams features have helped you, or if you used outside tools to help you differentiate for your students. Looking forward to seeing what you have come up with.